This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Get real.
You all ready for this? Dun 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 dun. No.
Y'all, just
Stop.
This is a sham. Welcome to DBL. Happy Thursday, everybody. Everyone looking bright and shiny.
Yeah.
Shout out to Christina, our new wardrobe stylist.
Yeah.
Brava, brava.
Yeah, welcome.
She's not even paying attention.
She don't care. She don't
Yeah.
care.
We like you, Christina.
She's about to get
She's back there doing
All right, shout outs. We just wanted to give the love, spread the love a little
Nice.
bit. All right, let's get to it. The Cannes Film Festival is underway in France. And shout out to the booth, getting those lights on and Rob running over there.
Beautiful.
What a crew over here. All right.
Lovely.
The Cannes Film Festival is underway in France, and yesterday the new Top Gun movie took center stage, of course. Tom Cruise and his co-star Jennifer Connelly dressed to impress as they arrived at the star-studded premiere. Also in attendance, Eva Longoria and model Adriana Lima, who showed off her baby bump. Tom was also... that
was a baby bump
that was
muscles.
Yeah. It did.
That's just so weird. Like, oh my, I didn't even know you could look like that.
Yeah.
Shout out to her.
Tom was also given the highest prize at the festival, receiving the honorary Palme d'Or award. Before the premiere, a video was played showcasing all of Tom's movies, but some are noticing that a certain someone was left out. Tom's ex-wife, of course, Nicole Kidman, was nowhere to be seen in the video, even though the two appeared in 3 iconic films together. Scenes from the movie were included, but Nicole was not. Are we looking too much into this? Or
Yes.
Yes.
Yes? It wasn't on purpose?
Well, it was about Tom.
Right.
And when it's about Nicole, which it will be because she is an amazing actress, then it'll be about Nicole. Like, I don't see a problem here.
This is just called boundaries, and he made it clear, and it wasn't in there, and no one's feelings got hurt, and we got to see Tom's films. I have no issue with this whatsoever.
But do you think Tom said something?
Yes, I think they...
Oh, you do?
I think there's a reason you didn't see anything between those. There's 3 huge movies for him, and we didn't see any of those. That's a reason that was thoughtful about that.
Well, I think he's had, if he only had 5 movies, I think that it might be weird. But he's got a lot of movies. And also, just like I think about, I've been divorced before, Erica's been divorced before. If there was like a situation where they were playing like a montage of everything in our lives, and we're with our current partners, and we're 65, when DBL's been on the air 35 years.
Still going.
In the universe, I don't think there would be pictures of your ex or my ex in that montage, just because it's not about that. It doesn't mean we don't like them. It's just like, we can show pictures from that era, but like if we show a picture of our ex, people will be like, who's that? And now it's a thing.
Right. What you'll see is, like, my original wedding dress.
Yeah, but not the groom. Not the groom.
It's better than you cropping them out.
Very
you'll
tightly
see me
cut
and
to the
my-
right.
Yeah.
Like
walking down the aisle.
Right.
You're not going to see who's at the end of the aisle. And just the same way as people, obviously you'll post your children that you have with people that you're not together with, but you're not putting a family photo together if
you're
that's
not.
not your man.
No, you're not.
Did anyone see Far and Away? Tell me you like my hot Shannon.
You're such a corker, shut up.
That's such a great movie. It's
such a good movie.
Yeah, you got to check it out. Taylor Swift is officially a doctor. Someone took out my paging Dr. Swift joke.
Oh, really?
That's how I was going to start.
There was
with
a big
it. Took
delay
it out.
Do it again, do
We
it
took
again,
out.
do it again.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Tell me you like my hot Shannon.
You're a real corker, Shannon.
It's a great movie. You guys got to
Great.
check it out.
Okay.
What's that? Paging Dr. Swift.
No.
Dr. Swift. It worked out. It worked out.
Nice improv there.
That was great. Well, good work, Tori. Yesterday, the singer was given an honorary degree from NYU, becoming a Doctor of Fine Arts. She also gave the commencement speech and had some life hacks for the graduating class. Let's take a look.
Life can be heavy, especially if you try to carry it all at once. Part of growing up and moving into new chapters of your life is about catch and release. Learn to live alongside cringe. You're probably doing or wearing something right now that you will look back on later and find revolting and hilarious. Never be ashamed of trying.
Al, as a doctor, are you offended?
He's not a doctor.
I mean, they gave her an honorary doctorate. Some of us, like myself and Dr. Dre, we earned ours. But, honestly, I think it's good advice. I don't know if there was maybe 1 or 2 commencement speeches I took something from. I don't remember mine at all. I think when you're at your ceremony, at your graduation, your mind is going a million miles an hour. Not only have you had a terrible morning getting your family there, because that's a disaster. Auntie doesn't know where it is. It's like, it's terrible. And then you get there and you're like, this is the last time I'm ever going to see these people. That's crazy. And then, like, what am I doing tomorrow? So, like, I didn't take in anything during during my commencement speech, but I mean, I think there's some. I like the nugget that she said, this is a moment in time, and it's going to look crazy in 10 or 15 years, so don't look bad on it and be mad at yourself. I did like that, but I don't know how many people took that with them.
I also like that she said, don't ever feel bad for trying. I think that's a really big deal, especially for NYU. I don't know, a lot of those are artists, and they're going to come out and they're going to try, and it's going to be really scary. If you do want to really, it's really, really terrifying to be like, here I go, and it's really, really, really.
In my defense, I came out and I did not try. For a number of years, I was chilling.
You did?
I didn't try.
Okay, well, I'm glad you're here and trying now. But I will say, if you want to see a very good commencement speech or hear it, the Wear Sunscreen is a very famous commencement speech. It's from a woman, I believe a Chicago Tribune writer, and she wrote it as an article, and it starts with Wear Sunscreen, and it's really fantastic, and it has helped me a lot.
You know, I used to have a problem with the honorary doctorate because obviously, you know, I know how hard my mom worked. I was there to get her EDD, and, you know, obviously your mother as well. And I realized, because I talked to my mom about going back to school at one point, and she's like, why would you do that? And I'm like, because I think I'm going to go for, you know, and try to get my doctorate. And I'm like, I want to be Dr. Cobb too. And she's like, you just want to be Dr. Cobb because you want people to call you Dr. Cobb. Right. She's like, you are getting your doctorate in life right now. She's like, the moment that I graduated, I started working when I was in college. So when I graduated, I went straight into work. And I've been in this field ever since, like since 1999. So anything that she was basically telling me, anything that I'm doing right now is really a life university. So when I see like a Taylor Swift, or shout out to Ebony K. Williams, who also just received her honorary doctorate this weekend, you know, I look at them and I'm like, you have a doctorate in something that you were so passionate about that you dedicated your entire life to. And that's something that you're never going to learn in the classroom. So now I feel so much differently about it.
Great job, Dr. Cobb.
I have a feeling you will be a Dr. Cobb.
I'm putting it out in the universe. Dr. Erica Cobb is definitely going to be a thing.
That's amazing.
It will be a
I'm going to be attorney at law too, but it's just because I want someone to call me that.
Well, we can just call you guys that and save you years.
Al's doctor.
Yeah, I want the whole thing. I want the whole thing.
No one's going to check your wall.
Speaking of commencement speeches, Admiral McRaven.
Oh, yes.
Online, check that out. I watch it multiple times. Very inspiring if you ever need a little pick-me-up in the morning.
That is a good one.
All right. Yeah. If Dr. Cobb doesn't inspire you enough. All right, coming up on DBL, our interview with CODA star Troy Kotsur. He's reflecting on the historical moment he became the first deaf man to win an Oscar. And Amber Heard's sister takes the stand. We're going to talk all about it. What she said, that's what she said. It's next. Yeah, thank you.
Closed captioning provided by
Daily Blast Live is always timely, always focused, always ready, always on cue. This May, don't miss a day. DBL is all new every day.
Tori, Jeff, and Chris were talking about the Make Your Bed speech.
Admiral, is it McRaven?
McRaven,
yeah.
Which is a perfect name for an admiral.
Totally, and his whole thing is, if you don't do anything, learn this. When you get up, make your bed. Do it as a habit, make it a thing, and as that habit will grow other habits that is disciplinary and good for you and self-care, and it changed a lot of people's lives. Like our executive producer.
Perfect.
Yeah. Well, he does. He makes his bed every single day. The minute I show him.
1700s. It's like
They didn't have beds.
I'm just kidding. No.
They had straw.
It's a big deal. I started making my bed
and purpose right away.
You leave the house having accomplished something, and then when you get home, you have a nicely made bed, and it just these subtle things that affect your mood and
when
your
you
motivation.
Come home and you see your bed, I think at like 3 or 4 whenever you get off work. That's when I really appreciate it, because it's not like you're not walking back into chaos.
Yep.
But I was saying I started making my bed later in life when I had roommates in New York and LA, because I felt like I couldn't control like how the kitchen looked or how clean the bathroom was. And you know, I had a terrible room, but like the one thing I could control was my bed.
Yeah, your space.
And so like that was like, you know, you come back from doing 5 sets in a night, you just come back, you're like, at least my bed is in order. My life isn't.
Yeah.
But I have no money.
My mother would always, and I still do this, when I move somewhere new, and I've moved a lot in my life, the first thing that we do when we get into the new apartment is put the bed together and make the bed. Because she's like, no matter the very first thing, before anything else, she's like, if you're gonna get so tired trying to like undertake every single thing that you need to do, but at least when your body's like, okay, I can't do it anymore, more, you'll have your bed to sleep in.
And did your mom make it? Like, it's important for my mom to make my college bed.
Before.
Yeah, it's important for
the first time she didn't was actually when we moved into our home that we live in now, and I made it. And while everybody else was moving furniture, I was like, I gotta go make the bed.
Go make a bed. That's such a.
Welcome back. There were some interesting developments in the Amber Heard and Johnny Depp trial yesterday. Amber's sister took the stand and testified that she witnessed Johnny hit Amber. Let's take a look.
Johnny runs up the stairs, and I'm facing Amber. He comes up behind me, strikes me in the back. I hear Amber shout, "Don't hit my sister." She smacks him, lands one, and Johnny had already grabbed Amber by the hair with one hand and was whacking her repeatedly in the face with the other.
So Johnny appeared to look Amber's sister directly in the eye, which is significant since Johnny has refused to make eye contact with Amber throughout the trial.
And that's because, and it's recorded, he looked at her and said, "You will never see the inside of my eyes ever again." And he's held to that the entire time.
But he said it to Amber, not to Amber's sister. Why
right,
is
so
that
he's looking straight at her because he's staring her down. He's trying to explain or look to the jury, I assume, that this woman is not to be believed. How dare you?
Oof, see, that look can mean so many things.
Yeah, it can.
At first when I saw it, I was like, I know the relationship that my husband has with my sister, and if this story isn't true, he would be heartbroken if my sister got on a stand and said something that he didn't do.
Would he not be mad?
He would be heartbroken. Like he would be destroyed. So I was like, is that the look, or is the look, is it a threatening thing? Like, I don't know.
Right.
I don't know.
That's a good question. I think that's exactly
it just seems
what the jury has to figure out.
You know what I thought about, Jeff, when I was looking at this was it kind of, in a weird way, especially with sisters defending each other, it made me think of the Solange elevator with Jay-Z scene where sisters do buck up when you come after Big Sis. It is a problem. And so, I can see that. She seemed much more credible than Amber. It just seems like if something like that violence going on between one of those three adults, the police would have been called and pictures would have been taken. That's the only weird thing, is it seems like a high level of violence for no tangible evidence. Like, somebody hit me,
and also,
here's the picture.
And the nurse there, who she says was there and saw it, Debbie Lloyd, has said that didn't happen. So this whole story of Whitney has been denied by someone else who was there.
We got another beat because people are still talking about.
Erica seems like she's got something to say too.
Well, I just want to say, I don't think that people necessarily call the police.
Okay.
I think that that's not an uncommon thing.
That makes sense. Sorry, Jeff.
I got three people in my ear. All right, hit that other beat, hit that other beat. All right. Another thing that people are talking about, the lawyers in this case, including Amber's lawyer, who got a reaction out of Johnny after she imitated his voice. Watch Johnny's.
She played a tape in which Mr. Depp said, "You will not see my eyes again." Do you recall that?
So he's listening. He's definitely paying attention. Meantime, rumors are flying that Johnny is dating his lawyer. The two were seen hugging in court, which fueled the speculation, because you got to be dating someone to hug them.
Yeah, and let me be very clear here. She had just finished a textbook, crunchy, amazing cross-examination, and that's what a client feels relieved to do, is a hug, thank you. To me, it means no connotation
I don't know
of
about that.
romance.
I don't know about that. Have I ever? I'm very close with both of you. Have I ever hugged you and left my forearm going all the way up your back and touching your shoulder? That seemed very like an intimate hug.
If you think she just saved you from all this money, I would be hugging.
Maybe we do that outside the courtroom, but that seemed very personal.
It's also good to see him touching a woman.
I like
nicely.
Erica's take because it's interesting.
Well, I have a question for Tori first. Would there be any legal implications if they were in fact having a romantic relationship?
If those two were together, I don't think there's an issue there.
Okay, then my issue is, anytime there is a high-power, successful woman who happens to also be attractive, then all of a sudden it turns into this, I can't be in a room with any other man and it not be a sexual thing. And I have an issue with that.
Yeah.
I could see that.
Yeah.
But Johnny's a good-looking guy.
But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Like, no one, we don't introduce those conversations for high-power, successful men. It gets introduced when there's a high-power, successful woman, and I don't know why we can't break that.
I always thought it was an old trope that the kind of slimy divorce lawyer was lecherous towards the woman getting divorced. I always thought that it was the other way.
But we're not talking about a slimy divorce. We're talking about a very high-profile case with an exceptional attorney who happens to be female.
And she's also in a relationship. I'm getting news. I don't know if that matters at all. Coming up on DBL, Academy Award-winning actor Troy Kotsur. He's reflecting on that historical moment for the movie Coda.
I've never.
Some news headlines suggesting parents can now feed cow's milk to babies that are 6 months or older are leading to some confusion. That's because cow's milk typically isn't recommended for babies until they're 1 year old. So let's verify. Should parents feed cow's milk to babies who are 6 to 12 months old? Our sources are the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, the American Academy of Pediatrics, and Dr. Stephen Abrams, chair of the American Academy of Pediatrics Committee on Nutrition. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention and the American Academy of Pediatrics recommend that babies be introduced to cow's milk at 12 months old, but not before then and never as the child's main source of nutrients. That's because cow's milk has too many proteins and minerals for a baby's kidneys to handle, and it just doesn't have enough necessary nutrients, according to the CDC. But during the shortage, Dr. Stephen Abrams says that in a pinch, cow's milk may be an option for children older than 6 months who are usually on regular formula if other alternatives aren't available. He added, quote, "This is not ideal and should not become routine. However, it is a better option than diluting formula or making homemade formula," unquote. He says this does not apply to babies who need specialty formula products for allergies or have other special health needs. So we can verify, no, parents shouldn't feed cow's milk to babies 6 to 12 months old, except in an emergency when other options have been exhausted. And even then, medical experts suggest you consult your pediatrician before giving your child cow's milk. With your Verify, I'm Adiante Till.
But you want to go back 20 years and cancel somebody for what they did? You know what? You're out of order.
I woke up and said, today is going to be a good day.
Yes. At some point, you got to decide for yourself if you're going to stand up for what's wrong or what's right.
Like, are we living in Bizarro world? Sorry, I ran out of steam there.
I have to just push back on that. I think it's an okay conversation to have. That's what really rubbed me and a lot of people the wrong way.
I love this story.
Welcome back. Troy Kotsur has been a professional actor since the late 80s, but he made history at the Academy Awards when he became the first deaf man to win an Oscar. Earlier, we got to chat with him and his interpreter about that special moment. Take a look.
Troy, welcome to DBL. I just got to tell our viewers before we went live, Troy was cuddling his pooch.
It's little dog Stella.
Little dog, so cute.
That's my best friend, Stella. I borrow her ears. If someone knocks at the door, Stella can bark and let us know.
Yes.
And so she always lets us know what's going on. We use Stella as our pair of ears. When I'm having a bad day, she always gives me love and comforts me.
Unconditional love. And now that you're an Oscar winner, I hope she's giving you a little extra love.
Oh, my dog's starting to be jealous, actually.
Are you getting recognized everywhere you go?
Recently this morning, I went to a doctor's appointment. I had a blood test and I was sitting opposite a man with a mask on who began gesturing to me, and he began doing the deaf applause, which kind of made me smile. And so we gave each other a fist bump in the doctor's office, and strangers are recognizing me even if I have a mask on.
Amazing.
And so, you know, it's with sign language. It's just noticeable. I can't hide who I am. I can't put a mask over my hands.
Troy, I got to tell you, I loved your acceptance speech at the Oscars. It was by far my favorite speech of the night. Now, did you think you had a chance of winning going in? Was that speech prepared, or was it a total shock and that just came from the heart?
Really, of course, the speech was from my heart. But I had a feeling that the odds were in my favor, so I wanted to be prepared. I didn't want to look awkward in case I got up on stage. And so if I didn't win, I could set the speech aside. But of course, I wanted to be prepared because they asked us to keep it under 45 seconds or under a minute. So we really had to condense it down and give my best foot forward.
Let's talk about your character, Frank Rossi, because Frank curses like a sailor, and apparently the MPA wanted to give the film an R rating. Do you think they weren't ready for a sign language film?
You know, I was in shock because they decided to give us an R rating, and I told myself, where have you all been? Because, you know, when I was growing up, I've seen all of these movies with a lot of swearing. You know, it wouldn't matter if it was PG-13 or R, of course, with your swear words in English with subtitles. But where was our opportunity to show that aspect of deaf culture? You know, and finally, we had an opportunity to show those vulgarities, and they wanted to give us an R rating. And we were like, hold on a second. And we had to go back and forth with them and with our director and our ASL director as well to say, hey, this is a really vital part of deaf culture. You know, I think they weren't ready for it yet. And so that's why they gave us that rating, which was surprising. And so finally, they reduced it to PG-13, which is a relief to all of us on the CODA team. But it was really amazing that we have such a rich history, and sign language is so descriptive visually, and they weren't prepared for that.
What do you think needs to change in Hollywood to make sure that everyone has representation?
Really, Hollywood needs to improve in a few areas. First of all, you need writers who happen to be involved in the deaf community and deaf culture. We have such a rich history, a treasure trove of stories from the deaf community. And I want to ask you, have you heard the name Dummy Hoy? Are any of you familiar with that name?
No.
And so that's my point. So he was the first deaf pro baseball player. He played for Cleveland.
Wow.
And he was the one who actually taught the umpire all of the hand signals for out and safe and strike and ball and so on. And so they're still used today, but no one knows where those hand signals came from. They actually came from the first deaf professional baseball player. So we're just human beings, and we just need to make small adjustments and set up a successful and effective system. And that way we have more access. And it's not only deaf people, but disabled people in general, CODAs, children of deaf adults, and so on. We all have our individual skills and stories to tell. So I'm waiting for Hollywood to be ready. And really, this is a big step forward.
It definitely is a big step forward. We appreciate you so much, Troy. Congratulations on all your success. Well deserved. We'll be right back. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Troy.
Thank you for having me. Thank you, everyone.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
It's National Stroke Awareness Month, and this video, posted recently by Hailey Bieber after she was hospitalized with a mini stroke, has sparked a lot of conversations and questions.
They did come to the conclusion of why they think I had a blood clot in the first place. One was that I had just recently started birth control pills.
That has people asking, can birth control pills lead to blood clots or stroke? Let's verify. Our sources are the CDC and 11 Alive medical expert Dr. Sujatha Reddy, a gynecology specialist.
The majority of birth control pills are a combination of estrogen and progesterone. And we've known that estrogen has the ability to increase the risk for blood clots, which can lead to stroke.
But she says it's rare.
The baseline risk for young women is probably around 1 to 4 strokes per 100,000. So if the pill increases that risk and it doubles it, your numbers are going to be only as high as approximately 8 per 100,000, which is still a very small number.
Dr. Reddy says there are several factors that could put you more at risk, and certain people shouldn't take the pill.
We know women with migraines have a slightly higher risk of stroke, high blood pressure. For smokers over 35, we don't prescribe estrogen-containing birth controls because the risk just gets too high there.
According to the CDC, 900,000 Americans a year are affected by blood clots, and estrogen-based birth control is listed as a risk factor. But if you're on the pill now, don't panic. Dr. Reddy says for most people, birth control pills are safe and effective.
Women that are on them for 5 to 10 years over their lifetime have a decreased risk of uterine and ovarian cancer. You often have better skin, less PMS, less risk of ovarian cysts. Most women on pills are going to have absolutely no issue with blood clots for their whole entire life.
So we can verify, yes, taking certain birth control pills can lead to blood clots or stroke, but it's rare. With your Verify, I'm Savannah Levins.
Verify here with your Fast Fact. Help Buffalo was a trending Google search to support victims of the Buffalo mass shooting. But government officials are warning about scammers trying to take advantage. So let's verify 4 ways to spot a charity scam. These are our sources. First, research the website and donation page that wants your money. These groups can help make sure the organization is legit. Second, be cautious about donation requests solicited by email. Fight Cybercrime warns real charities don't include attachments in their emails, and the FBI recommends going directly to an organization's website instead of clicking links in an email. Third, verify the payment method and never give cash or virtual currency. The FTC recommends paying by credit card or check and reviewing your bank statements carefully. Fourth, listen for red flags when someone contacts you. Scammers often make vague claims and try to rush you into donating before you have time to do your research. If you do fall for a scam, Fight Cybercrime says you should contact your bank, check your credit card, and save all communication in case you need to file a criminal complaint. With your Fast Fact, I'm Brandon Lewis.
Welcome back. We've got deals for travel stuff, kitchen stuff, beauty stuff, all sorts of stuff. The list goes on. Check out this stuff.
Steph, what do you have for us today?
First up, we've got Handy Sandy Deluxe 8-piece organizing cube set.
Cute.
So this deal includes 8 cubes. So packing cubes reduce wrinkled clothing, a mesh lid protects delicate fabrics, and it organizes your clothes. Normally, these are $60.
Okay.
But right now, we've got them just for $24, which saves everyone 60%. This next deal is a must-have. We've got Honey Can Do 17-piece vac and save rectangular set.
Oh, wow.
So this deal includes 8 containers with 8 lids and 1 handheld pump.
Whoa.
So you can store dry foods and liquids in these airtight, leak-proof containers, and this handheld pump will seal in freshness. They were $80, but we've got them for $29, saving you lot 64%. Something else I love that you can never get enough of. It is a 2-pack of Syme Hydrogel anti-aging patches, 30 pairs in each one, so 60 in total. They'll improve elasticity and brightness around your eyes while diminishing signs of aging. So normally these are $60, but right now they're only $24, saving you lot 60%. And last but certainly not least, we've got Savvy C sterling silver and genuine gemstone earrings. Ooh. So you can get 1 pair of earrings available in 4 options. So we've got green amethyst, blue sapphire, amethyst, and blue topaz. So these vibrant genuine gemstone earrings are delicate yet dazzling.
Nice.
Made of sterling silver. So normally they're $150, and we've got them. This is the steal of the day, you guys. They're $19, saving you 87%.
Head on over to morningsave.com to snag these amazing deals at the lowest prices. You can even just scan that QR code on screen right with your phone, or visit morningsave.com on your smartphone as well. Thank you so much, Steph.
Well, that's it. We're out of time. For myself, Dr. Cobb, Dr. Jackson, attorney at law Shulman.
Thank you.
We'll see you guys tomorrow.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.